Peace everyone, Unmask Art here, and welcome back to the Drawing Journal. Alright everyone, so I'm working on this. I'm going to continue doing what I've been doing, skipping over the hair for now because I want to color more of it so that I can stare at it and tolerate it. So I'm going to be doing the shirts, the sweater vest thing, and the collared shirt underneath. I have a little bit of a cold. My sinuses are clogged up, so if I sound a bit weird, hope you can forgive that. But today I want to talk a little bit about YouTube and the kind of new information that's come out as far as their changes. So, and how it affects my channel and how it might affect your channel if you're an artist and you make videos similar to mine, or you intend to make videos and whatnot. So if you've been living under a rock and haven't followed any of the changes or the many complaints, I mean, I can assure you that this is not. I'm going to keep this as non-complaintive as possible because that's just not in my personality to complain about things. But YouTube is moving towards becoming like TV. And, you know, the ad stuff is how YouTube makes money. If you're completely unaware of that, that's YouTube's goal. You know, they sell ad time to companies for money. And in order for them to entice companies to buy ad time, they need content creators like ourselves to make videos. Now, I don't know how it was in the past as far as what YouTube cared about, though I'm going to say that the most important aspect of video and channel recognition in the past was viewership. Now, YouTube may have not really cared too much about how long your videos were or how consistent your uploads. However, that's changed a lot because there was kind of a big deal with independent animators that made videos on YouTube, and they were quite successful in the beginning because their viewership was so high. However, it's not possible for them to produce content every day and do a 10, 20-minute animation every single day because it's one person creating this content. And YouTube, you know, it hurt a lot of those independent creators that made quality content, but it took them, you know, a week or even 2 weeks to make one video. And YouTube, because, you know, their goal is to make money, it kind of hurt those channels by changing what they look for. And then you had the kind of rise of reaction channels that or gaming channels that literally can produce hours of content daily because they're not creating anything original. They're not creating videos that require much of any skill or creativity. And so those channels are still pretty dominant, and YouTube's recent changes in the past year has moved from viewership to how long people are watching your videos. So they care less. In fact, they don't care at all if anybody comments on your video. They don't care if anybody likes or dislikes your video. None of that stuff. None of that stuff actually matters at this point. The only thing that matters is how long people are watching your videos, the retention of people watching it. If you upload a 10-minute video and people watch that 10-minute video all the way through, and you have a 6-hour video and people only watch 20 minutes of it, the video that gets more minutes watched is the better video by the algorithm on YouTube. So what does that mean for creative channels like mine and perhaps even yours if you're watching this video? It means that we're at a disadvantage constantly. At my current rate, I make 6 videos a week. Sometimes I have 7. However, it's extremely difficult to create that many videos given what I do as an artist. It's easy to get burnt out creatively when you draw or try to draw every day something new, record it and then edit it. But not only that, anybody can set up a camera and record themselves drawing and then speed up the video and create a time lapse and, put a drawing up on YouTube as a time lapse for people to enjoy. But it's getting a bit oversaturated, in my opinion, as far as how many people are doing this. And it's getting more and more difficult to be an artist on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't necessarily care about channels like ours that create this kind of content, because our viewership can't match those companies that are pumping out videos every day on YouTube that are 10, 20 minutes long, or even 3 or 4 videos a day. It's really quite difficult for us to match that kind of content creation. In fact, I would say that it's impossible without some kind of production team. And I would say so getting past all this depressing information about YouTube, there's a few things that we can do as artists, and I'm going to share that with you. So one thing that you have to do to be more successful as an artist on YouTube is you have to upload more videos, period. No, you have to upload a video at least every other day. There's just really no other option. If you're uploading as little as 2 videos a week, it's not enough. It really isn't. And here's a little trick that I do that you should copy. One of the things that I do is when I record a time lapse, for instance, all these tutorials that I've been doing for the past 4 months, I've been uploading the time lapse on Wednesday and then I do the narrated tutorial on Friday, and then the video I do for Patreon is the real-time drawing version, which I don't upload. Well, I upload it to YouTube, but it's private and nobody gets to watch it except for my Patreon supporters. So the trick to take one video and turn it into 3, that's something that you can do. You can take your time lapse and you upload a 3-4 minute time lapse version with just music or whatever, and then upload a narrated tutorial or explanation or story or whatever of what you're doing, and make that 10 minutes long. My time lapses for the tutorials are just 2 minutes long. It's something that YouTube will recognize as being somewhat of a daily creator. That's helpful. It will make my videos more relevant. So the more you upload, the more relevant your videos become on YouTube. And so that's one thing that you can do. You can take one video and split it into 2. You can use it to make 2 videos, or even 3 in my case. The other thing is start a drawing journal like I have. I guess you don't necessarily have to put yourself on camera, though I recommend it because people respond better to faces. I think that when I talk to the camera and you can see me talking to the camera as opposed to just hearing me, it has better retention. So I can create these long videos every Monday. In fact, I'm almost thinking about creating an extended, like doing this twice a week now, because I don't quite upload 7 days a week. I was thinking about creating my 7th video, and that would be like another drawing journal, like another episode of the drawing journal where I just sit and talk and draw in real time. And I'm strongly considering that because it's really what I have to do for my channel to continue to be to grow as much as it has been growing, because I have to compete. It's a huge competition because all these media companies that want to run ads on people's content, they want to do it on content that is engaging, where people are watching it for long times. It's kind of like you're watching a TV show, and they get the opportunity to run ads 6 times throughout the TV show. So if I can make 30-minute drawing journal videos, then YouTube can run more ads during that time. And even if people only watch 10 minutes of my drawing journals, then that's better than 3 people watching a 3-minute video from beginning to end, because that's only 9 minutes compared to the 10 minutes of the one person watching this video. And oh gosh, it's frustrating. I don't like it at all. I don't like how this is a reality of my creations, that I have to find ways to rig the system in my favor. I would prefer to be able to take my time creating my content and make it the most enjoyable content that I can produce. Once a week, on Tuesdays usually, is when I upload like my larger time lapses and my bigger projects, and usually the creation project or the creation behind that, the process, takes 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes it takes less, just depending on my flow, my creative inspiration or dedication or whatever. And but the best I can do is once a week on videos so detailed and thought out. Speaking of which, I have I have one of those videos tomorrow, and I had the giraffe that I drew last week. Hopefully you saw that. And that, yeah, so once a week on projects like that is the best that I can hope for. And that's not good enough. It won't be good enough to compete with the rest of YouTube creating daily content and things like that. And it's an unfortunate side effect of YouTube wanting to be successful themselves. YouTube has to make money for the platform to be successful. It's kind of a double-edged sword. The more money that YouTube makes, the more money the content creators have the potential to make. And in order for that to work out for both parties, is YouTube has to make changes that entice the people purchasing the ad time. They have to promote the content creators that the ad people want their ads to run on. If YouTube only had, content creators like myself or independent animators, then nobody would really be making any money, because they would run ads. There'd be a few things that would, they would be enticed by that kind of audience specifically, but it would be very limited. And that's just not viable for the company to continue. And so that's the purpose of the changes. And we have to learn to adapt our content to YouTube and their changes. Yeah, so there's a lot of changes that we have to adapt to in order to continue to be successful and to be more successful than what we are right now. And fortunately, as artists, we have things like Patreon that gives us more of an option than building a huge audience on YouTube. We have the option of having smaller audiences like I do. I mean, on average, my videos get about 150 to 300 views when I upload them. And then some of them get shared and get a few more views. But in the long term, like, my videos don't really get that many views. And even though I have like 6,000 subscribers, I would say that maybe 100 of you really are dedicated to watching my videos when I upload them, because that I can see it. I mean, if I were to upload a video and not share it on anything at all, then it would probably get about 100 views in its first week. And for those of you that, don't have your own YouTube channel and you just come by and you enjoy our videos and you watch mine, there's ways that you can help your favorite content creators. And despite this radical, it's kind of crazy. It's super annoying when you go to a video and it's this high energy, just crazy individual. And before the video even starts, they're pandering for likes. They're like, oh, last video we got like 15,000 likes. Let's get 30,000. It's like, that is so pointless. it is simply an ego boost to get likes on your video, and nothing more, because YouTube couldn't care less. If you had 100,000 likes, your video is not going to be any more popular on YouTube. If you're getting 100,000 likes, your video's popular, and that's really all it says about your video. If you have a 30-second video, it is worthless. It's worthless on YouTube, even if it does have 100,000 likes, because at most, one person is watching it for 30 seconds. And yeah, I'm not going to do the math behind a 5-minute video with 10,000 likes, but so the like stuff, I'm not even going to ever say like the video. I'm not even going to say, well, maybe I'll say comment on the video, because that actually lets us engage, which is what I like. So yes, I'll always encourage commenting on a video, but liking it's not worth anything. It's nice to know that people enjoy the content, but as far as likes go, it doesn't mean anything for a YouTube channel. It doesn't mean anything for the video, and it's more important that I create content that you enjoy watching for a long period of time. And that's really what I'm going to focus on, not likes. So hopefully, yeah. But the ways that you can actually help, aside from liking a video, and probably, actually, it's by far the most important thing to do to any channel that you do enjoy watching, is that you have to share it. You have to share the videos that you like. It's really the biggest compliment that you can give. If you never comment on any of my videos, but you enjoy watching them, and you want me to be able to continue creating them, then you have to share it. That's really the most important thing, because that draws in more audience members or potential audience members. That gets the minutes watched up. I'm not concerned about views. If I make my drawing journals every week, a half hour now, which I plan on doing, and hopefully I reach my first goal on Patreon soon, and I can start doing live streams. I don't know how long it's going to take me to set up to do live streams, but if I do live streams, I will live stream as much as I can. Like, I want to live stream every day for 3 hours, because that will make my content more relevant on YouTube. And that's what it's come to. That's what it's come to. And yeah, I don't have much else to say other than that. But yeah, like I said, sharing the videos, bringing in more audience members to the channels that you like, that's definitely the most important thing for the content creators that you enjoy watching. I share my own videos, and I know I suppose that I don't share enough of the content creators that I enjoy watching. But to be honest with you, I struggle to keep up with the people I'm subscribed to. I spend so much time every day trying to create my own content that I've noticed that it's hard to keep up with my subscription feed. And I have a lot of really great artists in my subscription feed that I enjoy following, and I enjoy listening to their content. And sometimes, a lot of the times, actually, I watch your videos and I don't comment, but I enjoy listening to them talk about, whatever. And And I give it a thumbs up when I don't have time to leave a nice comment. And I try to leave better comments than, oh, that's nice, or something like that. I try to leave a comment that's a bit engaging, that would entice a reply. Like, that's the kind of comments I prefer to leave. But yeah, I think next week I'm just gonna make it a shout out video and share all the channels that I enjoy watching, all the smaller YouTube channels that I think deserve more credit, because YouTube's kind of become a game of giants right now, where you have the YouTube channels that are already successful with millions of subscribers, and even over 500,000 subscribers, you're kind of in the 1%, I guess, if you want to use that analogy. But we're all competing with those people because they upload a video and they have the huge audience to drive their videos even farther up. Whereas our smaller channels, we don't have that option, and nobody's really paying attention to the smaller channels that are putting in all this effort. And we can't blame them. I mean, like I said, YouTube is trying to make money, and they can't be all about the small channels, because, well, then they wouldn't make any money. I was going to try to get to this part of the shirt, but okay, well, I guess I can. Yeah, so I think that's what I'll do next week, is I'll just talk about some of the channels that I enjoy watching and try to bring them more audience membership. I mean, the channels that I enjoy watching, I like to listen to them talk about just whatever they talk about in their videos. That's another thing about, making the time lapses and things like that. Don't add music to it. I'm guilty of it severely. Unless, well, I have a bit more to say about that, but if you're going to do like a 3-4 minute time lapse and it's just a straight down regular time lapse, one camera, one shot, kind of just from beginning to end, and the paper is flipping around all over the place and you can't really see it for the progression. See, that's why I tape down my pictures and my time lapses that are boring, my boring time lapses, because if I was flipping the paper around, you can't really see the progression, which is what's enjoyable to watch. You have to, you can't just throw on some music to those time lapses and expect people to sit there and enjoy them. Get yourself a decent microphone, because you have to narrate your videos from now on. You have to, because it's going to be more engaging. People are going to watch it longer. And to be honest with you, the videos that only have music, usually I mute them or I just skip ahead. Like I don't sit there and watch the video. I usually skip ahead. The time lapses that I create where I do only add music, they're 2 minutes long. So there's not a lot to skip ahead to. And the reason I do that is because I know they're boring. Well, they are to me. But the narrated ones, I mean, I can watch a somewhat mediocre piece of work come to life over a 10-minute period, but only if it's narrated, because I like to hear the story. I like to hear the artist explain their kind of process and everything like that. And so yes, you have to start narrating your time lapses. I'm thinking about even narrating my short 2-minute one that I do for the tutorials, the weekly tutorials, just because I know it's that much more enjoyable to watch and everything like that. And I recently got a new microphone that allows me to record my voice very easily. It's a snowball, a Blue Yeti snowball. It was like, I don't know, $40 or something like that, 40 pounds. I bought it in Europe or in the UK. So, you know, I just plug it into my computer. I can record my voice. The sound quality is really good. The microphone I'm using for the drawing journals is different, but that's irrelevant. Just you don't want your audio to be crappy. You need to have somewhat decent audio. So get yourself a nice microphone. It's worth it if you're making content. You need good audio. In fact, I would say that good audio is probably more important than video quality. If the best you can shoot your artwork in is 480p, which I don't think anybody's doing that now, then you need to have good audio to make anything interesting to watch. But other than that, I'm going to just finish up this shirt real quick. And then I'm going to start editing this video so you can all enjoy it when you watch it. I need to take care of my sinuses. They're all kind of clogged up. And I have a lot of work this week. I have all my videos uploaded, which is always great. I always enjoy having that done. That makes life feel a little less hectic. Although I'm always working on the next video, and yeah, it's still a bit hectic and stressful, but that's the price I pay for trying to make YouTube a full-time job. Honestly, like, oh goodness, if it wasn't for Patreon, then the thought of doing YouTube as a full-time job would be a joke. It would be a joke. Yep, that's it. All right, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope some of the things that I talked about, the tips that I gave as far as, running a more successful channel and things like that, you find helpful. And if you're trying to do YouTube as full-time, then, and you're an artist, really, who's my audience other than other artists? Then that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. The viral video kind of thing that used to blow up channels, you'd have that one video. Nah, it's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna really ever happen again. It's not gonna happen again. So don't put your money on that. Just work hard, make as many videos and as long as videos as you possibly can create. And try to make them as entertaining as possible, because otherwise nobody's going to watch them. And I'm going to be doing a video on how I make my time lapses. The more intricate time lapses, the time lapses that I always get comments on my production value and editing and stuff like that. I need you to start making your time lapses more enjoyable, especially if you're not narrating them. And tomorrow's time lapse is going to be Baby Groot. You can see that. And yeah, I jumped on that bandwagon. But the time lapse is just music, but I think that it's entertaining. I think that, in fact, I've watched the time lapse like 3 or 4 times just to make sure that each time I still find it entertaining enough to go from beginning to end. And I think that's going to be next Tuesday's video, because 'Cause I don't have another project yet fully planned. So I'm going to do a tutorial on how to create a more interesting time lapse, and that's where I change the camera angles and things like that. It's really quite simple. The strategy that I came up with is very easy. It doesn't take a lot more effort for you to do it, and the editing process is quick, so it's not a lot of heavy lifting. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.